The 2019 Royal Rumble event is the WWE's first big show of the year, and it already looks like it has the potential to be the best show of the year. With 2 Royal Rumble matches and 2 big men's and women's championship title matches respectively, this might end up being an incredible night of wrestling. And while everyone expects either Becky Lynch or Charlotte to win the women's Royal Rumble match and set up a match with Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania, the men's side is a little bit more unclear. Every year around this time, fans either have an idea of who they think is going to win or information leaks online that tells us who's going to win. But this year is a totally different story. This match is completely wide open, and that leaves a lot of thought as to who's going to come away with this win. So then who should win the match? And who should the surprise entrance be? I'm going to answer both of those questions and tell you exactly how I would book the 2019 Men's Royal Rumble match. With a week to go before the show, we already know that WWE named 20 entrants that are already going to be in the Men's Rumble match. The only guy who we know is going to come in at a specific number is R-Truth at number 30. But let's start at number 1. Number 1 should be everyone's favorite wrestler, Baron Corbin. So Baron Corbin comes to the ring with everybody booing the shit out of him, and he looks pissed, so when he gets to the ring, he grabs a mic and complains that it's unfair that he's coming out at number 1 when he served as the Raw GM for several months, and he believes he did a great job and that this is totally unjust. And after a short speech that'll allow him to gain some heat, he drops the mic and we eagerly await number 2. Aleister Black is number 2. The reason I think he should come out at number 2 and give us a surprise right off the bat is so that fans can experience the full aura of his entrance. If he comes out in the middle of the match, it'll no doubt be cool, but I think for him to come out second and get that full time where you can get his full entrance and experience him, especially see him rise from underneath the stage and kind of stand up, I think that that's going to create a lasting image in fans' minds who haven't seen him yet. And that would no doubt be a Royal Rumble surprise that people would never forget. And I have to clarify that he's not coming to the ring with his NXT title belt because at this point he's not the NXT champion. The night before I would have him lose to Ciampa and this would be his official WWE main roster call-up. We've heard for a while now that he's due for this call-up and I think this is a perfect time, especially since they say they want to shake things up. So I would let him easily eliminate Baron Corbin and the next couple guys who come out until number 5, Seth Rollins. Entering this early in the match, Rollins is going to be my Rumble workhorse and spend more time in the ring than anyone else. He's more than capable of spending over an hour in the ring, which we saw him do in a Raw Gauntlet match last year. He also pulls double duty all the time, so this is a perfect fit, and most importantly, he's a babyface. So now we skip ahead a little bit to number 9, Braun Strowman. And as soon as he gets to the ring, he cleans house by beating up everybody and eliminating a couple people as well. Braun Strowman's a favorite in every Royal Rumble match every year, so it's important to make him look strong here, even if he isn't 100% healthy. And because of that, Bobby Lashley is number 13. Since Lashley returned last April, they've largely kept him away from Braun Strowman as far as singles competition goes. So when he hits the ring, he goes straight for Braun Strowman, and right away they have a stare down. And since Lashley's fresh and he just entered the match, he's going to get the best of Strowman for now. Lashley goes straight after Strowman's injured arm and throws him out of the ring but not over the top rope. At this point, they're right in front of the announce table and Lashley puts him through it with the running power slam, Braun Strowman's own finisher. And this is done to take Strowman out of the match for the time being because he's still injured. And even though a lot of fans are going to see right through that and know that the reason they're doing the spot in the first place is because Strowman's hurt, it's a spot that needs to be done because it might be the only way you can keep Strowman in the match. So now Lashley's the only powerhouse left standing in this match, and it's his turn to clean house himself. He no doubt needs to be booked strongly here because of the months of shitty booking he suffered, and for the fact that he's the IC champ and he should be booked that way. So now this is Lashley's chance to look strong and make his eliminations until we get entrant number 17.
Velveteen Dream.
Number 17 is Velveteen Dream. Dream gets a huge pop and all of Chase Field is glowing in purple. No, this isn't an official call-up for Dream, but I think this is a prize that would keep fans happy and would be an awesome moment to see. You could also treat it as a testing the waters type moment where Vince and other backstage officials can see how a main roster crowd reacts to Dream. So when Dream hits the ring, he does his taunts, he does his moves, and eventually he comes face to face with John Cena. And this is a match that everyone wants to see since Dream commented that he was one day going to face John Cena. And Cena said that Dream could even be the one, which is an extremely high compliment coming from a guy like Cena. After a quick exchange, Cena gets the best of Dream, knocks him down, and goes straight for the 5-knuckle shuffle. But Dream counters and starts doing his Hogan taunts where he's trying to hear the crowd, and now everyone's losing their shit, and he finally hits the leg drop. That would no doubt be an enormous moment for Dream, and I think it makes even more sense when you realize that he's not even on the card for TakeOver Phoenix the night before, and with a guy as popular as him, you really don't want to keep him off every show the entire weekend. You got to fit him in somewhere, and this is the perfect spot to do it. So now we got a couple NXT guys still in the ring with Dream and Aleister Black, who's still hanging in there, until we get number 25.
I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy.
Number 25 is Shawn Michaels. So HBK gets his moments to shine, beating up everybody, throwing a couple people over the top rope, and then hitting his signature pose until Dream and Aleister Black approach him, and you realize that Michaels is one of the trainers in NXT, and he's been working with Dream and Aleister Black for several months now. So then after the commentary team mentions that, he points to the NXT logo on his pants like he wore at the Saudi Arabia event, but Dream and Black don't give a shit, and now we get a little old school versus new school fighting. And after a lengthy exchange, HBK eliminates Aleister Black, who had been in the match for longer than anybody at that point. And even though a large portion of the crowd isn't going to be happy with that because they're going to want to see an NXT guy win the match, he's not going to get booed because everybody loves Shawn Michaels, and it's just not going to happen. I also think the timing of this is perfect for HBK. I know everyone wants to see him get back in the ring, even more so than what he did at Saudi Arabia, because I don't think that really did it for anybody, but he's kind of said that he's not going to wrestle anymore, but since he already has come back to do it, I think he would be more willing to do it now. And having him do a spot with the NXT guys that he trains is just a great moment. So now we're getting towards the end of the match, and the last few guys left are Andrade Cien Almas, Seth Rollins, Velveteen Dream still hanging in there, Drew McIntyre, John Cena, and Braun Strowman still out of the ring and out of the picture right now. So now we get to the final entrant, number 30, R-Truth. Everyone knows it's going to be him, but when his music hits, he doesn't come out. We get a brief awkward moment where we have no idea what's going on, and then we get shown a backstage scene where we find out that R-Truth has been attacked and he's not going to be able to compete in the match. But all we see are officials tending to Truth, and we don't see who attacked him or who's going to come out at number 30. At this point, the crowd begins to get restless, expecting a surprise entrant to come out at any moment, and then finally the lights go dark everywhere except the ring, and the music hits. Number 30 is Lars Sullivan. His main roster debut has been advertised for well over a month now, and now he's finally here. But at this point in the match, everyone's exhausted and everyone's beat up, laying down in a separate corner, but John Cena is the only one who comes up to him first. They have a long stare down, but despite Cena's bravery, Lars Sullivan makes quick work of him and eliminates him easily. So now this is Lars Sullivan's moment to shine, and he eliminates Andrade, Drew McIntyre, and Velveteen Dream. So now the only two people we see left in the ring are Sullivan and Seth Rollins, but that is until Braun Strowman finally gets back into the match. And now we get a stare down between the two biggest men in WWE at the moment, but Strowman is badly hurt and he's severely nursing his bad shoulder, and Sullivan gets the best of the exchange. And after Sullivan wears him down, he lifts him up for his finisher, the Freak Accident, to a large reaction because this is not a move you see performed on a guy as big and heavy as Strowman. And after hitting the move, Sullivan easily dumps him over the top rope, and the only two people we have left are Sullivan and Rollins. So now everyone in Chase Field is on their feet for Seth Rollins to come through in this match. But for a while, Sullivan beats the shit out of him, and it looks like there's no way that Rollins can come back in this match and win. But after countering one of his moves, Rollins finally gets a little bit of momentum and gets the crowd going on his side. And right when it looks like Rollins is going to pull off the upset, Sullivan counters with a monster clothesline and knocks him down and out. And at this point, Rollins is dead, and the moment Sullivan realizes that, he looks at the hard cam and gives a smirk because he knows he's going to win the match. So he lifts him up for freak accident, but instead of hitting the move in the center of the ring, he looks to the outside of the ring and realizes he wants to throw him over the top rope to win the match. So with Rollins over his shoulder, he runs to the far side, but at the last moment, Rollins counters and pushes him over the top rope and wins the Royal Rumble. The crowd is going absolutely nuts, and we're shown on our screen that Rollins was the match's Iron Man, and he lasted over an hour in the ring. And after all of the celebration, Kathy Kelly comes to the ring to interview Rollins and ask him who he wants to face at WrestleMania. And he has absolutely no hesitation when he says that he's coming for Brock Lesnar. And he says that he beat him once at WrestleMania, he can do it again. And with that, we now know that the Universal title match at WrestleMania is going to be Brock Lesnar defending against Seth Rollins. As far as Lars Sullivan goes, his match is set up with John Cena earlier in the match when they had a moment the second he entered the ring. That's a match that's been rumored to happen for a couple weeks now, and even though that's up in the air, this is exactly how I would book that. And in the end, I think we have a Royal Rumble that's full of great moments and great surprises that everybody is going to go home happy about. So tell me what you thought. Did you love it? Did you hate it? How would you book it? Leave a comment down below and tell me exactly what you would have done. Also, be sure to check me out on Twitter at NoCellWrestling, or you could just search my name, NoCell Wrestling, for more wrestling content, and subscribe so you can get notified when all of my videos come out.